Welcome to Redvee TV, pre-show before the round 6 clash against the Leeds Rhinos at the Totally Wicked Stadium this Friday night. But before we go into that, I think we'll start off with the women's game this week. A couple of big announcements. Tara Jones, who last weekend was the first female official in Super League. A couple of the journals wanted to make a big deal of it, and to be fair, do you know what? For me, it's irrelevant. Yes, it might be seen as a big step by some, but do you know what? If she can officiate as good as some of the male referees in the game, then sex really doesn't matter, does it?
Absolutely, absolutely. She knows the rules better than we do. As long as
must know the rules better than James Child and the like. So.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of them that they say when it comes to age, if you're old enough, you're good enough, and all that. Well, I really fail to see how it's even at all.
I'm actually quite glad the Super League didn't make, or the RFL didn't make a big deal of it, because at the end of the day, I was obviously reading up a little bit about her background, and she's won one of the top awards at the Warrington Rugby League Society a couple of times. She's officiated in Challenge Cup pre-game things at Wembley. So she's come up the ranks. She hasn't just been parachuted in. So for me, it's probably just the next step in her career. What I am disappointed to say, as I didn't realise she actually played for Saints. She's actually a grand final winner with Fat O'Heath previously. She has played rugby union also, and then we find out today that she is being announced as Saints captain for the forthcoming Women's Super League season.
Yeah, and good luck to her. Plays 9, same as James Rolby. So
I saw the pictures of them together today. James looked a bit saddened by how much better her hair looked than his.
Hey, I'm going for the James Rolby, but don't knock that. But yeah, good luck to her, and good luck to the ladies team, because I think it's the right step forward. You've got the Women's Premier League and the football. Why can't Rugby League do something along the same lines and hopefully get the same kind of success and a couple more teams involved in the league as well? Yeah,
I'm looking forward to following the Women's Super League this season. I'll be honest, I know very, very little about it. But do you know what? I'm quite excited to find out a little bit more as the season goes on. The opening of the season for Saints ladies will be on the 15th of April, when they'll welcome the York City Knights to St Helens for the opening game. So hopefully we're going to get along to a few games and be able to cover the games, give it some coverage, and we're giving instant fan match reaction on a few of them as well.
Yeah, why not? Well, I just hope that they kind of, yeah, they need the standalone fixtures, but it'd be good to have either an academy game or a reserves game with it. Kind of make it a little bit more than just,
especially over the summer months, a little bit of an afternoon out.
Yeah. That's a nice Saturday afternoon if there's no football on. Let's go and watch a bit of rugby league.
It was suggested on a couple of social media platforms to potentially play one of the games as a curtain raiser to one of the Friday night Super League games. I think that might be a little bit of an issue, as somebody pointed out. The ladies is obviously still an amateur game, so most of them will have full-time jobs. Yeah. But you never know. One of our fixtures, when it's on a Sunday, if they can manage to corral the fixture list, it'd be good to see both Saints sides play together.
Sounds good to me, yeah.
Also this week, McCarthy Scarsbrook, been announced by Justin Holbrook that he's signed a new 12-month contract or extension to his deal, which will keep him at the club till October 2019. I think it says a lot that most of the reaction on social media has been really, really positive.
Yeah, absolutely. You obviously get a couple of people who won't like Louis, won't like his high-fiving. He's kind of, I think he gets called a chief cheerleader from time to time. But it always, I think that just kind of shows where the lads are as teammates and how much they are together, that they have got someone like that who brings them together. Louis will be, or would have been, a bit of an outsider coming up from London to play up north, but it just shows how much he's bedded in and how much he's been part of Saints. I was actually surprised he's been with us for so long as well. For some reason, I didn't think he'd been with us.
And been a mainstay in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
What you're saying about the high fives and things, you can see why some people get annoyed when the team isn't playing very well, but it all seems to be, it's sort of forgotten when you're playing well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do you know what? I think it's like testament to Louis, how he's turned around over the last 12-18 months, because let's be honest, there was a lot of fans who like to scapegoat him, basically. But then you look at Justin Holbrook coming in, he slimmed him down. It looked like at times over the last couple of years we've tried to bulk him up to play prop, and we haven't really known what he was. He's slimmed down, he's playing on the edge again, and he's going really, really well, and he's an integral part of the side. And do you know what? If Justin Holbrook wants him as part of his squad, who are we to argue with it?
Well, that's it. I listened to an interview with Holbrook today, and he was saying how good Louis was, even though he couldn't understand a lot of what he was saying, because he's got such a thick accent and speaks so fast, a little bit like you at times.
Because I got help him else.
He wants him round the team. He said he's a good bloke to have there. As you say, I like that to his performances. Definitely over the past 12 months, 18, maybe up to 24 months, he has kind of matured a little bit. And yeah, he's going to go round and he's going to get under people's skin, like he did with Frank Paul Nuasala.
You need someone like that.
I like that. I like
having a grub.
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't say he's a grub, but I like the
that
fact
little
that
bit of needle.
if he upsets fans of other teams and he upsets players of other teams, good.
Dominic Payru next. Would you give him another year? His form's turned round, because I tell you what, he was really good last week, and I noticed in your column on Redvee today that you were bigging him up.
Yeah, I think he's gone really well. I think you look at him, he's always been an athlete. He's not a big second rower. He's always been very, very athletic. He's been going really well. He's not an attacking threat as such, and whether he needs to add that to his game or whether other people can get by and do that is another discussion. But defensively, he's looked really on it. And I think at the start of the season, we all spoke about him being possibly one to drop out to give James Bentley a chance or give Jack Ashworth a chance. How do you drop him?
Yeah.
He's been performing 7, 8 out of 10 every week. You can't drop someone who's performing like that just because you think somebody else should have a go. With
the contract he's probably on as well, another 12 months at this moment for me seems an absolute no-brainer, as long as he carries on this form.
Absolutely. I'd probably look at it. I think we'll obviously be looking at recruitment for next season already. And that might play part of why we've gone and we've secured Louis for another 12 months. If they were to give Dom another 12 months, I'd be quite happy with that. It just depends what we're looking at and how he thinks that the youngsters are coming through, because he may feel like Bentley needs another year in the reserves or playing for Sheffield, or just aiding his development before getting dropped into Super League.
When you talk about Bentley, I think there was a lot of clamour in pre-season, and do you know what, we probably joined in with it, saying that we were hoping to see some of James Bentley this year, but obviously we're taking the nurturing approach with him. He's going out on dual reg to Sheffield quite a lot. A chance for him to get game time, and same with a couple of the other young lads. So there's no rush to get him in the side when we're playing so well.
And with him going to Sheffield, you see what that's done for Matty Lees. On Friday, I thought Matty Lees went well. Listen, he's a young lad who's made, is that his second performance for Saints? He's not going to come in and start playing as well as Luke Thompson, but he's come in, he's been solid, and it's helped him going out doing big minutes at Sheffield. And hopefully now James Bentley will reap them rewards, and when we will need him, which we will, we're not going to go through a whole season without getting an injury in the forwards or suspensions or both at the same time. Hopefully he'll be as ready as he can be to make that step up.
Matty Lees, as you say, played really well last week. He looks like he's going to retain his place in the squad this week. Obviously, John Wilkin is going to return after undergoing the concussion protocol and missing out last week. But Alex Walmsley is going to be a big miss for us. I think Justin Holbrook was interviewed on the TalkSport 2 Rugby League podcast yesterday, which you can catch up with. And he was saying he needs more scans and they're not sure, and he's going to be out for a while. And obviously, if it's a neck injury, then it's one of those, you never know, do you? It's a worry.
Yeah, and you're never going to take a risk, are you? It's not like if you've got a little bit of a calf knock or a tight thigh or anything like that. It's something that you really can't risk. A massive miss, Walmsley coming off the bench and starting kind of, I was going to call him a wrecking ball, but I don't want to.
He's not that bad.
No, he's not as bad as Nuasala, definitely not. But he comes on and he brings a fresh impetus to Saints, and it is a massive miss. Apparently, I read on the forums earlier that Wish FM had said he could be out for 3 weeks, which would rule him out to Good Friday. To be honest,
it's relevant, isn't it? Yeah.
You just want him back when he's fit. Don't rush him.
Yeah, obviously personal health is more important than the team.
Absolutely, and his career.
Yeah.
I mean, if he comes back too early and gets another injury, you don't know what that could do. You don't know how it could affect. So the last thing you want to do, as I say, is rush him back too early and end up missing him for the whole season when you could have just missed him for a month.
In terms of the squad this week then, obviously John Wilkins going to come back into the 17. Instead of probably what Alex Walmsley, can you see any other changes? Matty Smith and Ryan Morgan both to miss out again?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I think he'll try and keep as consistent as he can do with his choices. So, barring any injuries that have happened today or happen tomorrow, I can see it being just Walmsley out.
What must that do to the opposition when you see Saints 5 wins out of 5, top scorers, best defence, and they're quite open and honest, you know what, this is our best team and you're going to be playing against it. And it must put a bit of a worry into other teams' minds when you can practice all week, you know what Saints are going to do, but then you can't stop it.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. I mean, Leeds have got quite a few out, well, 8 first squad members or something, I think I read it earlier.
3 less than the other with us.
Yeah. So they're going to look at that and think, well, these lads are quite settled. But then do we... I don't know, it's almost like because we're picking the same team, well, they can know what we're going to do. It's stopping what we're going to do. That's the thing. That's the worry that they will have. With Barber chiming in, with Percival in form, with Luke Thompson in such good form, you look at the likes of that, Roby, bringing Farge off the bench and playing him, because sometimes it's like we're playing with 4 half-backs. I
think that says a lot about the world-class talents we've got in this team. Yeah. Ben Barber's obviously the world-class talent, but you've still got James Roby, Matt Percival, who aspires to be that. And that shows how you are a world-class talent when the opposition know what you're going to do, you tell them what you're going to do, and they still can't stop it.
Well, exactly. And having Lomax, having Richardson, having Barber, having Farge,
and they're all improving week on week.
And having Roby as well. It's like you've got 5 different options there. That, I mean, Roby's the last one you probably want kicking out of them. But Roby's kicked 40-20s in his career. Roby knows how to manage a game. So you've got all them options, which are like having 5 halfbacks on a field, yet they're all tough. They're not like soft lads who go hiding out on the wing. It's a great problem to have on behalf of us, trying to fit them in the team. It's a terrible problem trying to stop them.
The Leeds squad this week, Mitch Garbutt misses out, which is obviously probably their equivalent to missing Alex Walmsley. Cameron Smith comes in for him, not the Cameron Smith. What do we expect in terms of the result?
I still think it'll be tight. Leeds is always a tough game, no matter who they put out there. I think Myler's getting better each week. It's just whether they're missing one too many players. Saints by a score, I'll go.
I'm going to go Saints by about 14, I think. I think Leeds will tough it for the first half, maybe the first 10-15 minutes of the second, and then Saints will come strong again, just as we have in recent weeks. Around the league, if you're watching this very early on, Huddersfield, Hull KR.
Yeah.
2 tramps fighting in the...
Yeah, 2 tramps fighting over in a ditch over the last bag of chips. I think Huddersfield will win this one. Hull KR getting turned over by Catalan. I mean, Catalan are absolutely terrible at the moment, so you'd be going over there thinking that's your best chance of winning in the south of France. I'll go Huddersfield by 8.
Salford Hull. Oh, hang on, I better go Huddersfield, Hull KR, I'm going Huddersfield by 14. Salford Hull. Salford in free fall. Gareth O'Brien leaving this week. They say it's not for the money.
Well, it's for him.
It's for him. But you fear for Salford, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not entirely convinced by Hull, but I still think they'll win this one by 16.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Hull by 20 in this one. Catalan versus Warrington.
That's a tough one to call. I wasn't convinced by Warrington on Friday,
no.
Even if we had watched them after.
But Catalan aren't very good either, are they? Do you know what? Who really cares the result? But I'm going to say Warrington will sneak it by 4.
I think Warrington will win. I will go Warrington by 6.
Wakefield Widnes.
I think Wakefield will bounce back from the defeats against Wigan. I'll say Wakefield by 18.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Wakefield by 12 in this one. I think Wakefield are probably the most underappreciated side in the league. They just seem to slip under the radar because, let's be honest, we all know back of our heads think, oh, it's Wakefield. And Wakefield have traditionally been poor. Last year they were really good and they've backed it up this year, and fair play to them.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job over there. They've got some good players as well. And while they might not be household names, it's almost like they've got the Saints kind of team spirit and they all work for each other. You can't knock that, can you?
And the final game on Sunday, Castleford against Wigan.
Oh, the grudge match, the our old
It's a tough
pal
one,
Sean Wayne grudge match. Can you beep it out when I'm going to say Wigan are going to win now?
No, you just have how many by? I think Castle win.
I don't. I think Wigan will win, and I'll go Wigan by 4.
I'm going to go Castleford by 8, I think. I just think they've sorted things out a little bit. They've added Liam Watts this week as well. I know we can't play, but that's a big signing for them.
Yeah, it's a good signing.
I know he's had his disciplinary issues on the field, but at the end of the day, do you know what? He's a good prop and he'll really improve Castleford.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like coaches speaking about forward players in the way that it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah,
like Radford coming out saying that he's got off-field problems. Listen, he's not your player anymore. I know he's trying to placate his fans and he's trying to give reasons to why he's gone.
It sounds like sour grapes.
But yeah, well,
especially when Liam Watts has said that it's not true as well.
But it always is. Sean Wayne said the same about Mickey McLaurin. Said he was a trouble figure, but they looked after him. But it's like he's not your player anymore. Just ignore your player.
It's like one of those. I know something about Kev, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So we look forward to tomorrow night's fixture. The weather's looking a bit better as well. Starting to get a little bit warmer. A little bit. So after the game, we will see you outside once again for the instant fan reaction. If you can come and join us. Kev won't be on his sick bed this week. We hope.
Hopefully not.
So yeah, instant fan reaction outside by the Kieran Cunningham statue after the game. You can give us your thoughts during the game, after the game, on Twitter, on Facebook, or on the Redvee forum, which we'll tweet a link out to as well. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe on this video on YouTube. I think it's over here. Somewhere that way, maybe. And we'll see you Friday night on Redvee TV.